Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa ma ba'd. Okay, today's chapter is فيما يجوز لبسه وما يحرم من الفضة والحرير والتختم وحكم أواني الذهب والفضة وحقوق الوالدين وإيتاء الطريق حقه. Many number of topics have been put in this chapter. ما يجوز لبسه وما يحرم من الفضة والحرير, meaning what is allowed from the silver, what is allowed from the silk, والتختم and what we say using a ring is fine or not for men and women. حكم أواني الذهب والفضة, the utensils made of gold and silver, what is the ruling? حقوق الوالدين, disobedient to parents, what is the ruling? Meaning, is it, obviously it is a great sin, so he maybe mentioned few ahadith in this regard. وإيتاء الطريق حقه, if you are standing on the path that is being used by people, then you need to maintain few etiquettes like lowering gaze and giving salam or returning salams and so on and so forth, and not looking who is coming, who is going, and what they are meaning what they are buying or what they are holding in their hands, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is chapter, number of things have been mentioned. Let's start with the first one. What is allowed to wear and what is meaning what is allowed from the gold and silver and the silk with respect to man and with respect to woman. Yes, let's start.
محضر على الذكران ما نسجوه من يدين وعين غالب أو مصرد ويحرم في نصوص أحمد تكة الحرير كذا شرابة ولا تردد.
Is it واضح؟ لا ترددي.
لا ترددي. وحل على الذكران خاتم فضة وحلية سيف مع قبيعة عسجد وأنف وربط السن منه ضرورة وقول أبي بكر مبيح المزهد.
Okay, let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He's saying وحذر على الذكران ما نسجوه من لجين وعين غالب أو مسرد. وحذر على الذكران, meaning regard it haram for the male. It is haram for the male what has been prepared from the silver. وعين, ayn is the gold, meaning the jewelry prepared by silver or gold is haram upon the men. Okay, regarding the silver, all type of jewelry is haram for men except for ring, And regarding the ring as well, scholars have differed whether it is sunnah to have we are talking about men. As for the women, gold and silver is halal for them. They can use any type of jewelry if they want. But for men, gold and silver is haram, as well as the silk. There is a famous hadith, authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ bought silk. In one hand it was silk, in other hand he was holding gold and silver. And he said, these are haram upon the male of my ummah, and they are halal for the female. So female can make use of silver, silver, gold, and dress made of silk. So he's saying, حذر على الذكران ما نسجوه من لجين. It is haram upon the male jewelries made of silver. Only exception is ring. Okay, regarding the ring, I was saying that scholars have differed whether it is sunnah to use a ring made of silver, or is it just only mubah? What is the correct opinion? Is it sunnah for male or for men to use a ring made of silver, or it is just allowed? Okay, the scholars have said little bit detail. They said if there is a need, like Prophet ﷺ was in need to wear this ring because he was using it as a seal or stamp. So scholars say if there is a need, such a need, then it can be a sunnah. Otherwise, it's just mubah, meaning you are allowed to wear if you want. Otherwise, it's not something recommended. Wa'ainin, as for the jewelry or ring or anything made of gold, it is haram upon men, and it is halal upon women, or halal for women. Wa'ainin ghalibin or mustaradi. He's saying gold, jewelry made of gold is haram upon male, regardless of its percentage, whether it is 50% or less or whatever. Gharibin or musardi. Gharib means, if the percentage is high of the gold, it's haram. If the percentage of gold is lower, still it is haram for male. Let's say a ring is made of something mixed with gold and some other, and let's say gold is just only 10% or so, still it is haram for men, regardless whether the percentage of gold is high or lower. And there is a famous hadith that Prophet ﷺ saw a companion wearing a ring made of gold. Then Prophet ﷺ said, Subhanallah, how can any one of you tries to put a ring made of fire, meaning this ring that is made of gold will lead you to the hellfire. So Prophet ﷺ said, and as soon as the companion heard, he took that off and threw it. Okay, and look the level of obedience in the companions. Some of them said, okay, look, you can take it and make use. He said what Prophet ﷺ said, it is for you. But if you take it and give it to your family members, women, or even sell and make money, that's halal for you. He said, no. Prophet ﷺ made the statement regarding this ring, I'm not going to make any type of use. And he left it there, and he did not pick it. Okay, what about the chains and the earrings made of silver? Is it halal for men? No. Why so?
It's like jewelry.
Okay, generally speaking, jewelry is meant for women. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Awaman yunashu fil hilya." It is women who meant to use jewelry made of gold or silver or diamond or other things. It's not for men. وَيَحْرُمُ فِي مَنْسُوسِ أَحْمَدَ التِّكَّةُ الْحَرِيرِ. And he's saying, وَيَحْرُمُ فِي مَنْسُوسِ أَحْمَدَ. Imam Ahmad has declared that the silk is haram. What tikka means? Okay, something you used to tie your pajamas or so. Nowadays we use elastic. Before they used to have something to tie their pajamas with. Even now some of the Pakistani, especially brothers, they use those pajama and they have the, it's not a rope, it is made of the cloth or so, by which they tie the pajamas up. So he's saying even that one, if it is made of silver or silk, it is haram. Okay, so silk is haram for the male, and it is halal for women, because women are meant to beautify themselves, especially for the sake of the husband, so they can use dress or clothes made of silk. As for the men, they are not. Okay, which silk is haram upon men? The pure one, the pure silk. As for the artificial one, that's fine, because it's not silky, it's not a pure silk.
Viscose.
How do you say?
It's like a silk.
Fake silk, not pure silk. Okay, so that is exception. If it is not pure, meaning men can use. Another exception for the silk for men is at the battleground. At the battleground, if Mujahideen wants to wear silk, that's also fine. Why it is allowed there? Because there it is recommended that you show your muscles and walk in a boastful way to annoy the disbelievers, the combatant disbelievers, and so on and so forth. So there, all these things are allowed. So silk is allowed for men in the battleground. And scholars have said that if silk is used less than the length of four fingers or so, okay, let's say a little bit somewhere here and there, less than 4 fingers, they say that's also fine, because the whole dress is not made of the silk, only you have used on the top of your pocket or something, less than 4 fingers, that's fine. Okay, kada shurrabatun la turaddadi. He says the silk is haram upon men, the dress, and shurraba, mean the socks or the gloves. Shurrab is used for gloves and for socks as well. So if the socks or gloves are made of silk, it is haram upon the men, and yes, women obviously they can use. وَهَلَّ عَلَى الذُّكْرَانِ خَاتَمُ فِضَّةٍ. What is allowed from the silver for the men is the ring only. And it is not recommended unless you are in this, in the same situation you need, like the Prophet ﷺ was. Nowadays, obviously, you have other things to use as a seal, isn't it? But still it is okay. وَهَلَّ عَلَى الذُّكْرَانِ خَاتَمُ فِضَّةٍ. It is halal upon male to use a ring made of silver. وَهِلْيَةُ صَيْفٍ مَا قَبِيعَةِ أَزْجَدِ. And وَهِلْيَةُ صَيْفٍ. Okay, what about I mean, saif is the sword. So if you want to use the golden water or the silver water as a paint.
Gold plated or silver plated.
Okay, gold plated or silver plated for the sword. He's saying it is fine. Okay, it is fine. Again, remember, in the battleground, for that purpose, this gold and silver and silk, many things becomes allowed. So he's saying wahiliyatu sayfin. I mean the gold plate, how do you say, gold plated or silver plated? Meaning using the water of the gold or silver to paint the sword is fine. Ma qabi'ati asjad. And the handle of the sword, if it is made of gold or silver, that is also fine. And qabiya means the stopper. So you find that is the handle that you hold, and there is stopper here. So the hand cannot move to the dangerous area while you are using. So you see that is the sword, and this is the handle, and there is something stopper. So the hand cannot go towards the dangerous area. So he's saying that is called qabiya. So that also can be made of gold and silver. Wa'anfin. And if someone is using gold to repair his nose, what it means to repair his nose? Meaning if you got injury and nose has been cut or something, nowadays you got the plastic surgery or so, but before there wasn't anything of this. So people used to, to patch up on the injury of the hole by the gold. So he's saying that's also fine. And another thing, and there's a hadith as well, the companion called Arfaja. Okay, his nose was damaged in a battle in the pre-Islamic period. Okay, so he used to repair the nose by using the gold. After he became Muslim, and Prophet ﷺ didn't say anything, meaning he allowed. Okay, something good about the gold, they say that in order to repair this type of injuries or so, if you are going to use silver, is no good. Meaning it doesn't, how do you say? It gets rusty and maybe, yes, bad smell. Yes, it may give bad or discharge bad smell. As for the gold, gold is gold. It doesn't have those type of issues. So it remains pure, and its smell also doesn't get changed. So that's what he's saying, وَأَنْفِنْ وَرَبْتِ السِّنِّ. And in order to rub the sin, meaning, for example, yes, if your teeth are wide open or so, and you want to bring them, because nowadays they put braces or something. So he's saying the gold can be used for that purpose as well, even for male. Okay, daruratan, meaning, yes, if it is necessary. But let's say someone is using for fashion, he wants to turn his teeth colors to golden, or he wants to use a teeth made of gold. Previously it was allowed, but now you got alternative. So there's no need to use gold. وَقَوْلُ أَبِي بَكْرٍ مُبِيهِ الْمُزَحِّدِ. And Abu Bakr is a great Hanbali scholar. Okay, Ghulam Khalal. He's called Ghulam Khalal, or Ghulam Khalil. So Abu Bakr is a famous Hanbali scholar. So the author is saying, وَقَوْلُ أَبِي بَكْرٍ مُبِيهِ الْمُزَحِّدِ. So the scholar Abu Bakr, Ghulam Khalil, he says the gold is allowed muzahadi if it is used in a very minimum way, meaning a little percentage of something. If it is used, he says it's fine. But the correct opinion is that it is only allowed for those purposes that has been mentioned, like for what we say, yes, the handle of the sword, or the stopper, or even if you are trying to color with the gold water, or like anfun, if someone has sustained hole or injury in his nose or any part of the face or so, gold can be used. Or up to sinni, and as a bracelet for the teeth. Okay, other than these, gold should not be used for men, even if it is a, what we say, little percentage or so. Okay, so these rulings are for men. As for the women, they can make use of gold, silver, and silk as well.
What about boys, like kids?
It is the same.
It's the same.
It is the same. I mean, they won't be sinful, but those who are making them wear, parents or guardians, they will be sinful. And it will give them the bad idea. For example, you make them wear a ring made of gold, they may grow up thinking this is halal. That's why our parents allowed us or made us use. So they won't be sinful, but the sin will be upon parents. Okay, and the tarbiyah need to be given from the beginning. Okay, let's move ahead. وقولين خذ في هلي من منطقة الفتى من الفضة البيضاء ووجهين أسندي. Okay, before he said something that used to tie pajamas also should not be made of silver. So he's saying وقولين خذ في هلي منطقة الفتى من الفضة. Okay, I mean, if to tie your pajamas, or nowadays you got belt, can it be made of silver? Qawlaini, so there are two opinions. Can you use the thingy by which you tie your pajamas, or let's say the belts nowadays? Can be the belt, not the whole belt. Generally speaking, it is made of leather, but at the end you see the metal is used. Okay, so can silver be used? So he's saying there are two opinions for Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. وَقَوْلَيْنِ خُذْ فِي هِلْيَ مَنْطِقَةِ الْفَتَى مِنَ الْفِضَّةِ وَوَجْهَيْنِ أَسْنِدِ. But the correct opinion is avoid. I mean, the correct opinion is it is good to avoid. The only thing, as I mentioned earlier, is allowed is the ring, or for the sword and the other things that he has mentioned.
What about a watch?
Okay, what about the watch? Yes? Any idea?
Yeah, probably come in the same category.
Okay, watch should not be, yes, I mean the chain should not be made of pure gold or silver.
Stainless steel.
Okay, let's move ahead. أهل لجين في خمائل صارم وخف وران خوذة جوشن تدي. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, that in the battleground, or for the weapons that are used by mujahideen, okay, many things are allowed there. So pay attention what he's saying. He's saying uhilla lujaynun. Lujayn is the silver. Silver is halal. Fi hamair sarimin, meaning the covers for the sword. I mean, sword has a cover, and sometimes they have something by which you hang the sword somewhere. So saying the cover can be used by, or the silver can be, let's say other way, the covers of the sword can be made of silver. Wa khuffin, and those special type of khuf, shoes. Wa khawdatin, ranin, again a special type of khuf, a special type of shoes used by mujahideen. Khawdatin is the helmet. Okay, jawshanin is armor, dira. So he's saying all these things, if they are made of silver, it's fine. White is fine. Okay, here you are using to show your power, your strength, and to annoy the enemies. If they see that you are using helmet and armor made of silver, it gives the impression that you are well off and the Muslim Ummah is wealthy and strong and sound financially. And it will annoy the disbelievers or the enemies. وفي الستر أو ما هو مزنة بذلة لا يكره كتب للقرآن الممجد. Now he's moving to other issues. He's saying, what about writing the Quran or the Quranic verses upon sitr? Sitr means upon the curtains. أو ما هو مزنة بذلة, or upon anything that can be where the Quran can be disrespected. For example, if you are having the Quranic verses written on a sheet and you are using as a bed sheet or so, obviously it is imtihan, meaning you are bringing disrespect to the Quran or Quranic verses. So he's saying in this type of thing, Quranic verses should not be written. Okay, generally speaking, one should avoid. The Quran is revealed, or the words of Allah, to be recited and to be believed in and to be acted upon, not for the purpose that it should be written on the piece of papers as a piece of a decoration or so. That's why scholars didn't like it. Even let's say Ayat al-Kursi is written and you use it as a piece of, not a necessary decoration, as a protection as well, but that not necessarily bring you the protection. Protection comes from recitation. If you recite and you believe and you act. So that's what he's saying. وفي الستر أو هو مزنة بذلة يكره كتب للقرآن الممجد وليس بمكروه كتابة غيره من الذكر فيما لم يدس ويمهد. What about writing the azkar? Meaning you're not writing the ayat of the Quran like La ilaha illallah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, these are azkar. Okay? Is it allowed to be written somewhere on the door or somewhere on the... He's saying it is fine unless they are not written on something which brings disrespect. Like the example I have given. Okay, tablecloth. Okay, you put food and those, so it's not good to have these azkar written. But if it is written on something where, yes, where someone cannot show disrespect to them, that's fine.
Imam, what about like, especially like in Asian households? So in pretty much every room they got like either Ayat al-Kursi or they got...
That's what I said.
And then they're watching TV there. And like,
no, it is disrespect. It is disrespect.
They believe, majority of them they do that actually. They bring like, good luck and keep the bad things away. So would that, what category would that come in?
I mean, it is, I mentioned that as for the purpose of decoration or as the purpose that it will bring barakah. Barakah can come by recitation and by acting upon it, not just... You can hang the whole Quran small. Okay, nowadays you got small Quran, you can hang it, it doesn't necessarily bring anything. And as you mentioned, if Ayat al-Kursi is there and the TV is on the other side and people are watching, that's also disrespect. Imtihan.
What about the case you have Quran placed in the room where you're watching TV? Is that also a disrespect? Like you have the Quran and you're watching TV.
And you're watching TV, so Quran should not be in the same. I mean, it's good not to keep in the same. It is sort of disrespect. I mean, if you're watching something normal, that's fine. Yes, Ahmed.
What if it's there so that it reminds you to read it? So in case of that, like as your azkar.
Azkar, he said azkar is fine. And that's what Sheikh Saleh Fawzan also didn't comment anything. He says, as for the azkar, with the condition that they are not being showed disrespect. For example, you may have Allah Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, here and there, and again TV is on. Okay, in which something good and bad are being witnessed, so no. In that case, no. Okay, that's what he said. وليس بمكروه كتابة غيره من الذكر فيما لم يدس ويمهد. فهمتني؟ الناظم يقول ليس بمكروه كتابة غيره من الأذكار
أي
بشرط لم يدس ويمهد. لم يدس لم يدس
يعني ممكن
ممكن تجلس عليه وتستخدم كالرداء أو شيء، أو مذنة بذلة. Okay, let's move ahead. وهلا لمن يستأجر البيت حكة التصاوير. He's saying it is allowed for someone who is renting a house. What is allowed for him? حكة التصاوير, removing of the pictures. Meaning you have rented a house and let's say there's a picture of like these people have Jesus picture and Maryam alayhi salam, they claim that is their picture and they are wrong. So he's saying it is allowed for someone who has rented a house to remove the pictures. But here one has to be a little bit smart. The best thing is to speak to the owner and tell that, look, I don't want these pictures, can you remove them? Or if he doesn't, then tell him, let him know that I'm going to remove it. Yeah, cover it. Covering is easy. Okay, there was a hall in where the Jummah prayer was being established, and yeah, there were some pictures. I mean, the community halls, sometimes they have different type of pictures. So the best thing is to cover them. Okay, وَهَلَّ لِمَنْ يَسْتَعْجِلُ الْبَيْتَ حَقُّهُ التَّصَاوِيرُ كَالْحَمَّامِ لِلدَّاخِلِ الشَّدِيدِ. And he's saying, like the hammam, for example, you are entering hammam or you are using hammam. Previously, hammam also used to be hired, meaning people would pay some money and use the hammam. So while you are paying money and the time is given for you, like half an hour, let's say 1 hour, and they charge you. So during the period of time, if there is anything illegal, I mean from the Sharia point of view, you have the right to remove, but at the same time it is better to speak to the owner. Let him remove, because if you are doing something, it may lead to fitna and to dispute. وَهَلَّ شِرَى وَالِ الْيَتِيمَةِ لُوبَةً بِلَا رَاسٍ أَن تَطْلُبَ وَبِالرَّاسِ فَاسْتُدِي. Now he's moving to other issues. He's saying it is fine for the guardian of a young girl to buy loba. Loba means a sort of doll or something. It is fine for the parents or the guardian of a young girl to buy a doll for her. But make sure that the doll is not a bila rasin, meaning yes, the face should not be made properly. I mean, there's a face, but the eyes and the nose and everything are not apparent. But nowadays, where you find those type of dolls? They make it proper, isn't there? Bila rasin, meaning if you buy a doll for them that hasn't got, let's say, head altogether, that's fine if she wants. وَبِالرَّاسِ فَاسْجُدِي. But if the doll has got a head and face, and in the face every features of the face are properly made and apparent, then don't buy these type of dolls. Okay, regarding the dolls, I mean, it is good to give the girls these type of dolls which don't have head or have the head, but the features of the face are not that much apparent. So scholars say that meaning, yes, girls like to play with these type of dolls, and this will help them. For example, they act like a mother, they want to look after the baby, okay? So it is like a training for them. And this is something natural. And boys, they want to play with the guns and the cars and so on and so forth. And I have read an article that these some of the disbelieving people, they were claiming that it is the culture that has implemented this belief or this understanding. I mean, it is not something natural. We make the children, or we make the girls to play with this, and we make the boys to play with the guns, and it is not something natural. So they made an experiment. They kept young boys and girls especially in the Israel also. They raised them in a same place, okay, and there was very little involvement from the elders to them. They were looked after, but as soon as they would feed them and change their clothes, they moved. So they grew up for 3-4 years among themselves and very little interaction with the adults. And then they put these type of toys. The dolls and the cars and the guns, and they were amazed that the girls were playing with those type of toys like dolls and so, and boys were busy with other stuff. So they came to the conclusion that this is something natural. The nature of the women and girls is different, but that's how they have been created. That's how they have been created. Okay, let's move ahead. ولا يشتري ما كان من ذاك صورة ومن ماله لا مالها في المجرد. And don't buy toys for boys or girls, anything meaning ما كان من ذاك صورة, meaning toys that looks like a living being things, whether they are dolls or horse or elephants and whatsoever. Don't buy these type of toys. من ماله ولا مالها, meaning neither from your wealth nor from their money. For let's say yatim or young girl, they have their pocket money, but you are buying, so whether you're using your money or their money is no good. Okay, why it is prohibited? Okay, because the pictures of living being, you are trying to make something. Yes, you're making something, and as Prophet ﷺ said, on the day of judgment, these people will be brought forth, and Allah will say, look, you tried to copy my creations, then do it properly, put the ruh as well. You created this picture of this doll or this animal or something, trying to imitate my creation, so yes, put the ruh, and they won't be able to do so. And there are a number of hadiths in which Prophet ﷺ said, these are the musawwirun, meaning those who make these type of pictures, it is them who will get the severe punishment. And the correct opinion is, the picture, whether it is made of, whether it is tangible, like the doll or so, or whether it is a photographical, or whether you're drawing from your, using different type of pen, everything is included. Because when Prophet ﷺ said, La'ana Allah al-Musawwirin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has cursed those who make pictures, he did not exclude any. Okay, the only exception is when you are in need, like you want to get your photo be taken for the purpose of ID or photographer, ID or passport or something, that is allowed. Other than that, it's not. Okay, what about nowadays when people go in different places and take selfies? Okay, if there is no need, don't do so. Okay, وَيَحْرُمُ تَصْوِيرٌ لِذِي الرُّوحِ كَامِلًا وَذَنْبًا كَبِيرًا أُدَّلُ التَّوَادِ. That's why he's saying tasweer, making pictures of living being things is dhanban kabiran, is a major sin, and there are a number of hadiths in which Prophet ﷺ issued warning against them. وَلَا بَأْسَ فِي لُبْسِ الْفِرَى. Now he's moving to other issues. We'll spend 5-10 minutes and then we'll conclude, inshallah. وَلَا بَأْسَ فِي لُبْسِ الْفِرَى وَاشْتِرَائِهَا. Okay, what about using fira? Fira is the plural of farwa. Farwa means the woolen clothes. The woolen clothes that have been made by using the wool or the hairs or even the skin of the animals. What do you say? Fur. Okay. Fur. Fur. Okay, let's say, yes, the warm clothes that are made by using the skin of the animals or the hairs of fur. Is it allowed or not? So he's saying juludu halalin mawtuhu lam yuwattadi. If it is made of the animals that are halal, so obviously I mean the skin of those animals or the fur of those animals is also halal. Those animals which are called ma'kulul lahm, meaning the animals that we are allowed to use the meat, so using the skin and the hairs or the fur is fine. What if they have died? Meaning if they have been slaughtered, that's fine, without any ikhtilaf. What if they have died? Okay, still it is fine if you can clean them properly. That is called dibagha. If they have been tanned, meaning there is a chemical procedure to clean them. If that is done, then yes, you can make use of the skin. Okay, what about the salab? In the next line, he's talking about this jild salab, the skin of the fox. Okay, regarding the fox, I was amazed. I was amazed the scholars have differed regarding its meat. There is opinion that is halal, which is very weak, obviously. Fox is from those animals that attack and yes, and they got those special type of teeth. Yes. But I was amazed to see that some scholars said it is halal. Okay, anyway, those who say it is halal, they say if it is meat is halal, then using the skin and the fur, whatever, is also. But the correct opinion is that it is haram, and so the usage of the skin. Okay, regarding the skin of this type of animal, like fox or cheetah or lion, what is the correct ruling? Is it haram to make use of the skin of these type of animals? Obviously, you're not allowed to eat the meat. These are ghair ma'kulul lahm. Okay, what's the opinion? I think the correct opinion is after the dibagha, meaning if you have cleaned them in a proper way, which is called dibagha, then you can make use of the skin. That includes the skin of dog as well, by the way. I think pig don't have skin. The scholar said that pig don't have skin, or meaning very thin skin or something is not proper. It's not useful one. Okay, otherwise scholars have differed in the skin as well.
So, like, where they've differed, is it like after a certain amount of time they've differed, like, I don't know, 500-600 years, or like they start differing after 300 years with these issues?
No, you find the difference among the Sahaba and Tabi'in, and so it is early. Okay, the correct opinion is if it is cleansed properly, the bagha, then yes, you can make use of the skin. Okay, we are stopping here. وَقَدْ كَرِهَ السَّمُّورُ وَالْفَنْكَ أَحْمَدُ. Other type of animals, Imam Ahmad has regarded that the skin is makruh. The usage of the skin is makruh. What type of animal are these? Sammur? Yes, Ali? Beavers.
Yes.
Okay, and the jackal. And you find other type of small animals that have these big teeth. You find someone digs the, what do you call the animal?
Mole. Mole, I think, the one that digs.
Mole.
Mole,
Okay, and the big size of rat. Okay, the rat, the big size of the rat. All these animals are haram. So the usage of the skin is haram unless they have cleansed properly. Okay. So we talked about that the ring that is made of silver is halal for men. What about a ring made of other other material? Bronze is also haram, by the way. Okay, remember, bronze is haram for men and I think for female as well, because there is a hadith in which Prophet ﷺ said this is jewelry of the people of hellfire. And most of the idols, the Hindus, you see, they are made of the bronze. So avoid bronze. Okay, what about the other material like diamond or platinum?
Titanium.
And which one was the other one? Billur.
Palladium as well. Is it palladium?
Huh? No, there was another word, ballur. You saw the meaning? Platinum. Okay, crystal. What about the ruling? So he's saying la basa bil khatim min fiddatin wa maqiyin wa ballurin wa shibhil mud. He said what is haram is the gold. Okay, if let's say someone is using a ring made of platinum or diamond, yes, if someone male, if they want to make use, he's saying it's fine because the prohibited one is silver. Sorry, the prohibited one is gold. But I would say leave those things for women. Okay, let them use. Men should avoid it. Why you want to have a diamond ring for?
But even like with the ring, Imam, like you only got the stone at the top. The actual ring, I think that'll still be silver or like some other material.
Okay.
Because it's not going to be like a whole ring of diamond.
Of diamond.
Got a stone at the top.
Okay, so what about the other material? If it is platinum or those, they are more expensive.
Yeah, but then is it like, would it not come in the same category then of like silver?
No.
Like the platinum? Because then it's becoming showing off.
I mean, let's say the only thing is allowed for men is ring. So let's keep it to that one. As for the diamond and these and expensive one, even though nothing has been mentioned to say that it's haram, but what I'm saying that the women, these type of things are more befitting for them to be used, not for the men. Men are, okay, men's beauty is in the health. Yes, yes. It's not, their beauty is not connected with the clothes and with jewelry or so on and so forth. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions? My battery is running out of.
You know the pictures, Sheikh? You know the pictures, yeah? You know, like some kids stuff, like, you know the rocking things you use, what are they called? That thing that you use to put them to sleep, that rocking, like they've got the cartoons on there, the cartoons the kids want. Yeah. And nappies as well, Sheikh. Every nappy's got a picture on it. There are some.
Okay, nappies, if they are pictures, that's fine because you're showing disrespect and you're using it. Okay, no, it is true. If you got pictures where you're sitting and using for, that's fine. For example, you're using on sheet where you sit on the sofas, there it can be used there because you're showing disrespect to them. I mean, if you avoid it from the other angle, that the angels may not come in the houses where, from that angle is, yes, avoiding is better.
What about having pictures of the family on display in somewhere in the house? People having family, it's quite common for people to have like family pictures.
And they're hanging in the house?
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's not good. Because the hadith say angels will not enter in a home where pictures are there or displayed. I mean, if you want to keep inside somewhere in the
album, yeah.
I mean, taking the picture in the very first place is no good because it is just for sake of memory, isn't it? To remember that you were young and you were this, you were that. It doesn't serve. I mean, it's not something necessary that you need to have those pictures. Okay, we'll stop here. Subhanakallah bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.